Man, here it is. It's finally here. The 2025 Suzuki M109R. It's a bad cat daddy. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this video. I promise. Get this thing started up. Turn the key on here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is a bad boy right here. Yeah, it is. You cannot help when you see this bike to think that it is one bad boy, because it is. Huge thank you to Plano Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa that allows me to do all this. They've got all this stuff in stock up here. All these side-by-sides, four-wheelers, they've got it all. Jet skis. They're the nation's largest volume dealer. Okay, enough of that. I know what you want to, what you're here for. Let's get down to the, I'm going to give you a bunch of specs and facts about this bike, and probably some stuff that you didn't know. I always try and do a ton of research on these bikes, but I've done about 8 or 10 25s already. I've got a huge playlist, and they're pretty much all new bikes that I've test rode over the last 2 or 3 years. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure if you get something from this to like it. And we've got a bunch more 25s coming. This is a 25 model. The first thing I'll tell you is it's 1 down, 4 up. So it is, bless that guy's heart. Man, have to come back and give him some money. Golly. Anyways, getting back to it, this is 1 down, 4 up. It is, I believe, 783 cc's, and the horsepower and torque on it is off the charts. This is a twin cylinder. Those are the factory pipes. Let's get out here and give this thing a proper go. Also, this is a shaft drive motorcycle. Your feet are out in front of you. Whoa, watch out, Ray. But you'll pull the clutch. This thing will rip your arms out of the sockets. You do have, just looking down on it, the first thing I can tell you is your speedometer's here. And your select, you've got a clock right there. I don't know if you can see that. You've got another one over here. The 2 options for that side, you have 2 trip odometers. 2 trip odometers, and it'll show you the odometer, so how many total miles you've ridden. This is shaft drive, so you'll never have to adjust a chain. And the total weight on this bike is 760 pounds. So it's not a super lightweight sport bike, but it's in the riding position, and I'm really sitting straight up and down. And I'll put a picture up that I found online of a guy sitting on it. You should be seeing that. But man, this thing has got a 27, I believe it's, and I'll put all the facts, the numbers on the screen. It's got a 27.8, I believe, inch seat height. It is wide. That tank looks like it holds probably 8 or 9 gallons, but it doesn't. It's a 5.3 gallon tank. This is a twin cylinder. The rear tail light, and I'll get off and show you here in just a second. The rear tail light is LED. The front headlight is regular halogen, and the turn signal bulbs, you could always change those turn signals to LEDs. Golly, man. This bike, I mean, even with the factory pipes, you can definitely hear it. Let's give this thing a goose out here. It's got your tack up there. I mean, that wasn't even trying. I went into second gear at 50 mile an hour, and I'm not even, I mean, this thing will jerk your arms off. The front tire on it is a 130, I believe it's a 130/70/18. It is an 18-inch solid mag wheel up front, and they are powder coated black on this. If I'm not mistaken, Suzuki also makes an M109R Boss, and it's the blacked out version. It's black and blue. But man, look at the power. It's got huge long risers, and so when you're sitting, we better let them over. There you go, sweet lady. Oh, that's a guy, sorry about that. Anyways, it does have huge long risers on it. I'm gonna pull over in the parking lot and tell you everything about it. They said the front brakes on this, it does have two front calipers, and I believe they're Tokiko front calipers. But if you look in their literature, they'll tell you that it's got the same basic front brakes on it as the GSX-R 1000. We'll pull back here to our little spot here, but low seat height, and easy to get on. It is wide in the seat. I'm a 30-inch inseam, and I can tell you, it's got like a Harley Davidson kickstand that goes real far out, so it's definitely not going to fall off the kickstand. Let me pull over back here. Neutral is super easy to find. This would definitely not be a beginner's bike. You leave a comment. If you started on something this big, I probably doubt it, but you could have. Let me walk around it here. There's that LED light I was telling you about. But look, the tire in the back is 240 millimeters wide, which is a huge tire. It's like a Harley Davidson breakout size. I believe it's their breakout that has a huge tire. It does have twin side pipes on it. It does have 2 cylinders. The fuel injection there, it's got 2 intake, what am I trying to say? Intake valves per cylinder. Also, too, it does have 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So 4 spark plugs. It is a twin cylinder. But here's those rims I was telling you about. They are powder coated black. You got a floating rotor up front. It does have 2 of the front calipers, which you can see. You do have these forward pegs, and I'm sure they make attachments to where you could probably put floorboards on it if that's something you like. I know I used to have floorboards on a bike, and I loved them, but it was a cruiser. These front forks are 43 millimeters. They're huge front forks. This thing rides. This is a bike you could get on and put you some stuff on the back. This will come off, I believe. Yes, it will. And you can put a second seat back there. But there's that back wheel. That's an 18-inch too. I don't know if you can see that. 240, 18. Look at the diameter of that sidewall. Man, it's like a Formula 1 car. But beautiful bike. It's in this black sparkle, and I hope you can see that in the sunshine, the sparkle. Also too, Suzuki electromechanically plates the cylinders, so you can close the tolerances up on the bore diameter and your rings. Also too, this has a 4.4-inch piston in it, which is one of the biggest pistons in a car or a motorcycle. But 4.4-inch single piston each cylinder. This thing is, I believe, like I said, 1783 cc's. Very simple bike. No tricks here. That'd be your flash to pass. And I don't know if you can see that on the front fender there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to get around there, but it's, as you, we'll go back to that. You can see these long risers here. The mirrors are super steady. This would be your chrome version of the M109. The M109 Boss is blue and black, and I'll put that picture up there. You should have already seen that. But you do have regular halogen bulbs up here, which is super easy. I would probably change these out and make them LED. But here's the sticker on it to 2025 M109R Boulevard 15799. Plano Kawasaki, I believe, has 114 left over, and they've discounted. They've got some extra inventory from Suzuki and Kawasaki to get rid of, that both manufacturers sent them because they're such a high volume store. There's your horn button, your blinkers. Turn on your blinker, you will see the blinker indicator up there. There's your neutral indicator. There's your tack. Just super simple. To cancel the blinker, you'll push that in. We just push that in. Show you one more time, just push it in, it will cancel it. But man, what do y'all think about this bike? Shaft drive, never have to adjust a chain. There's that long, I call it like a Harley Davidson kickstand. This thing is not going to roll off the kickstand. It's just not going to happen. But super low center of gravity, and that was the whole idea behind this bike, was to put that motor as low in the frame as they could. 5.3 gallon gas tank, already told you that. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but pretty badass. I mean, you tell me. That's a bad cat daddy from Cincinnati right there. Wolf of Main Street, whatever you want to call it. Let's take this thing back down the highway, and I'll give you a what it's like to ride it down the road here. Give it a pretty good goose, and you watch the speedometer. But in gear there, we're in first gear. There's your gear indicator. This thing does red line at 75. It looks like 7,500 RPMs. And the center of gravity is so low, I just put my foot on the peg, my right one, start letting out the clutch. Man, it's just super balanced. Let's get out here. Man, those front brakes are good. I mean, look, I'm gonna jab on them a little bit once we get out here. Super adequate. I'd probably change the silencers on the back, get something a little bit louder. But we'll go up here. Man, this thing sounds good. Here we go. I'm going to hit those front brakes. Plenty adequate. Watch that speedometer when we get out here. I'm not going to take it to the moon and back, but we're going to give it a proper go here. Here we go. We're going to roll on. Watch that speedometer. That's first gear right there. 55, 60 mile an hour. Turn that blinker off, Ray. But man, I hope y'all are liking what you're seeing on the channel. It does have these super cool drag bars right here, and they're real fat right in the center, and they get skinny out toward the controls. It does have like a foam grip on it. But there's your mirrors. I mean, no buzz in them. I'm running 50 mile an hour right now. Let's take it up a little bit faster. We're running 65 now. You can very easily see out the mirrors. Plano Kawasaki Suzuki's information, their phone number, their address, and all that. We'll go down to first gear here. Use those front brakes. We're at 40. Easily stop. Here we go. All their information to Plano Kawasaki Suzuki is in the details or the description of each video below each video. So give them a shout. They're in Plano, Texas. Huge thank you to Mike Cannon, AJ, Larry. Mike's the general manager. I believe AJ and Larry own the place, and they all of them up here have been in the motorcycle business for years and years. Larry has, I know. He used to own a Honda store, but and got out of it and went Kawasaki Suzuki. But man, what an awesome day. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure if you like this, you hit that like button. Man, thanks for riding with me. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.